They wouldn't listen to anything we had to say. And we're, all in all, just extremely disruptive. The general consensus was, everybody was pretty upset by it. But we didn't really know what to do. We can't use force, but they're also part of the 99%, so it's really, there's no easy decision. However, I would like to add before, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it without going into specific detail, but given that we're camping at Smell a Mushroom, at least tonight, tomorrow night, that does kind of help with that, because now that we're not on public property, if you're not part of the group, you don't have the right to be there unless you're part of the group. So if you're there and acting like that, then that kind of fixes the problem.
I would like to propose that we all agree not to wrongfully come to these meetings. Or
add it as a proposal?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll put it as the next proposal because it's an important thing that goes with it.
Have a time.
All right. How much more time?
What's the time?
What?
Almost 9?
Yeah, it's close to 9.
10 minutes?
Yeah. 10 minutes, yeah. We'll do 5, and then if we have to keep going, I think we should go.
Huh?
5 minutes.
Oh, we can do it as long as you want.
Yes.
I propose that at these meetings and when we're camping and when we're picking, that nobody use any drugs or bring any alcohol or be drunk. We have to look like angels, or they're just going to peg us like crazy liberal hippies.
Direct response?
Yes, direct response. Last night at camp, during our General Assembly there, we agreed to make camp a drug-free space. That doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want in your own time. That means that don't bring a bad attitude to camp because you're on drugs, or don't use drugs at camp.
And alcohol.
And alcohol. Yeah. All right. I think the same.
Yeah, I'm echoing what you're saying, but the other thing I just want to toss in is that as this movement hopefully grows, we want to make it friendly for families and kids and the whole bit, and if this is started out of it is, then it's got to be that way.
Okay. Michael?
I'd also suggest that... Okay, so I would like to propose that we have mediators who are trained in nonviolent communication and send one person over as the first response rather than have groups of angry people mobbing the person. Because if you mob a person, I've learned from my work in the past, they feel attacked, but if it's one person who can communicate nonviolently, then it works better.
I want to do a direct response. We had like 4 people individually go over to them before any group approached them.
Or is that just protesting?
Alright, and Jen.
I just like to say
Go look at
it's not illegal, it's not bad, and I'd like for us to
There's some dude in an outfit. Maybe he's just dressed up.
point sometimes we did as a collective, the whole stereotype that, I mean, I don't necessarily want to draw a bad attention, but, and I'm not saying using camp, but I just would like the collective to know that we need to legalize weed and hemp and all that stuff too.
Okay. Yeah, federally it is illegal, and we will get arrested for it.
I know that, but that's why it's an action.
Direct response?
Get rid of paraphernalia, adding paraphernalia which may be on them because it can be seen as evidence.
So, yeah, that's a friendly amendment, not a direct response.
Yeah. Alright, do you have a response?
It's just, we can talk about whether to legalize drugs later. There's nothing against you using drugs. We don't condone it, but we don't condemn it either. Just don't bring it to camp and destroy the group.
No. No, he's behind the sign.
I just have a question. Sorry.
Just go look and see.
I have a question. We have to be tolerant of people in the camp regardless of how they can learn our religion. That's sort of what this is about. But at the same time, I wanted to ask what we're supposed to do say someone gets violent and there's nothing.
That's what the mediator thing was, but that's something. Alright, I'll ask you to do a proposal. We were talking about possibly doing that and doing the mediator, and if it came to it, possibly call 911 on the person, if it came down to that. That was like a proposal that multiple people had talked about, potentially. So I'm going to put that as a proposal, but I hate to do it to that, but... Sir.
You got a proposal?
I have a question. Oh yeah, I wanted to know, I have a question though, it had to do with the camping tonight. Since no mushroom is a business, did they say what time that we could arrive there tonight?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock?
11 o'clock to 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Nothing. Oh, okay. See a picture of him or something.
Wait, sorry, point of clarification.
Would we be able to hear people better if people walked up to the front and talked instead of this?
I mean, if people choose to do that, yeah. I feel like,
I'm just having trouble hearing people, and
Yeah.
some people can't project very well.
It's like 2 stars on this time, anyways.
alright.
Okay. You had a proposal. I'd
Might
like
go
to
sit there
amend
next to
that
David or something.
proposal.
I'm gonna go over there next to David.
So long as we have a legal observer, I think that is all right for our mediation group to use force if necessary to defend the community. So long as we have a legal observer there at all times. So the amendment is that we have a moderation group, but we also
So dark.
are positive that we have a legal observer at all times.
I retract my proposal to Amendment 1 for that.
And there is a direct response.
Not for that.
We're fine. You want to add 5?
Yeah, at 5 minutes, yes. I mean, obviously, yes, it's everything right there.
I am going to start.
City Bakery.
Woo!
Experience with accountability project. I'm going to start an accountability working committee. Right now, if you have any interest, any ideas, come to me. Accountability programs are pretty much ways to be autonomous from the police. Accountability projects accountability projects are ways to remain autonomous from any outside influence such as police and from bringing that system into our community. They are very complex, they are very situational, so we have to do a lot of talking. I have a lot of literature and I have a lot of energy to devote to this. Come see me if you want to start the accountability project. I'm Yotam. So I guess I just want to say that I'm on the comfort group, and I think that a big part of that has to do with emotional comfort. And so I would like to extend an invitation to anybody who wants to make a part of the comfort group be a kind of a preemptive peacefulness group where we basically just try and keep good vibes, specifically in the campsite at night. So if anybody wants to try and volunteer themselves, be somebody who can just be a peacekeeper before the problem, not a non-violent person, but just a general vibe squad, come to me or we'll do it yourself, but let's do that.
Alright, I have a question real quick. Do we want to combine mediators, legal observers together into the same proposal? Direct response?
Yeah, question. Is that a direct response?
Point of clarification. Point of clarification.
Should I speak?
Yes.
Alright. What is legal observer?
Or legal
I mean, like, direct response.
yeah. Who was the one that talked about the legal observers situation? Alright. Not here.
Coleman's gone. What?
Alright. We need a clarification
want you to
of
talk.
legal observer, like the definition, so to speak.
There could be many definitions, but it boils down to watching and not engaging.
Yeah.
Where does this question come into conversation?
Talking about disturbances at camp and how to, if there's a violent person, how to remove them and like how to take care of the situation.
Always a testy discussion, you know. But technically, the legal observer part of it is there to actually record, to maintain as much of an objective position, so that if in the future that observer was called into court to testify, that person would not be seen as like fraternizing with you guys and be you know, like influenced by everybody. So we have to remain back.
I just wanted to dish with that real quick. Also, legal observer, their definition, you do not engage in the situation.
Right.
You observe it from afar and write down what's
You
going
should be
on.
recording at the very least with a pen and pad. If we really had it organized, whoever was being a legal observer would have a little pad, a little pencil, possibly a little camera.
This gentleman? A clarification on your security. You had your observer, that's a good description. A sergeant of arms should be the person designated by your group to have the action of a citizen's arrest if necessary. The police department does have a community officer for coordinating. I have talked with the police department and they are interested in cooperating with you. If you get a sergeant of arms for your campsite, that person with the legal person can coordinate appropriate response action.
Do we want to add that as a proposal, Sergeant of Arms?
Yeah.
Him, and then someone had their...
Sorry.
Sergeant of Arms is someone that you would elect, is someone with electors that on behalf of
I guess elect, you're either or volunteer.
Okay.
Okay, this is about in terms of what was like a sort of camp vibe person to keep peace proposed by the comfort committee. That also may or may not fall under the spirituality group. And also a friend of mine, Luna, started Let's Talk It Out, which is people who will go and talk to you if you're stressed out or if you seem to be having problems. And so perhaps this falls under numerous groups and may or may not be
Mediator.
separate. Yeah.
Okay.
My suggestion was really that everybody try and be that person. I don't think that that's a specific role that one would have to play, but just a conscious effort that we should all try to make. And if we want to meet and discuss it in a formal setting, that's cool, but I was just trying to say that we should maybe all make efforts towards that.
Empowerment.
We're at time.
Right. Two more minutes? 2, 5, 2.
Okay. I would actually like to propose that we actually draft a community covenant. I've used these in the past, and it's a set of guidelines that the campers agree to. And we could set these each night, we can set them weekly, but they're living documents. They're not rules. They're things that people feel like they're a part of. Very simple things such as using I statements instead of calling names, not playing guitar after midnight, just things that we agree to like that. That could be something handled at camp.
Do you want to add that as a friendly amendment to the no drugs, alcohol in addition to it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it at camp.
Okay, the general assembly, there'll be a separate general assembly at that camp.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct? By those who are camping?
Yes.
Cool.
In
All right.
direct response actually to myself, I'm willing to lead that too, okay?
Okay, cool.
It was him, and then me. I think I saw someone over here. Is there nobody over here?
Nobody had a hand up over
All right, right here.
Okay. Okay. And Naomi.
Yeah, I think as we get larger, I think those sorts of agreements are going to need to be standardized at some point, and we're obviously not there, but it's something to do.
Okay. All right. Are there any? Oh,
I'm just curious if we could raise our hands and see who's camping tonight.
yeah. Who is camping tonight? I'll be down there for a little bit, but I have to go back to my house and actually kind of set up my room that I just moved into in my new house. But so I'll be down there probably to like at least 2 or 3. So.
Maybe 12 hands.
I have a proposal about being that everybody that just raised their hand as a camper, and being that we are the ones who just decided on the things that we were deciding on, do we want to allow other people to camp with us tonight? People that just walk up? Because that's kind of what made the problem last night.
Direct response.
I already put out on Facebook that we have the spot in the middle of mushroom for people to come join us trying to get massive. I mean people that aren't involved with our movement more particularly.
Yeah,
there's no differentiation. 99%.
It's hers and hers and him and him and you. This is a 99% group of people's movement, so I think it's important that we accept everyone who's not violent. That's my proposal. Everyone who's not what? Violent.
I totally agree.
I feel like we should simply, if anybody approaches us, if they want to join us, we just explain to them what we're doing and make sure they're on board, and as long as they don't have any objections and are not causing any problems.
Direct response, is Mellow Mushroom aware of this?
I don't know, but not drunk.
Yeah, maybe drunk's not so much. You know, we'll try and explain to them and see if they will be cooperative and peaceful.
Should we explain to Mellow Mushroom that we're going to let this happen, that anybody that walks up and wants to join with us that was not at the General Assembly can join us and camp there? Because I think Mellow Mushroom should know that in a way, because they expect everybody that was at the General Assembly.
That's why we should make sure they're on board with what we're doing if they're going to camp with us.
I agree.
How would Mellow Mushroom know?
Yeah, they won't know.
Also, it's not going to be that far.
Another direct response.
Okay, so direct response, because we are on private property, if Mellow Mushroom is aware of guidelines that we have, people who, and if they support our guidelines, then people who go against those guidelines are going against Mellow Mushroom and therefore are trespassing. So that is another thing, another benefit of using private property, is having the support of local businesses.
Direct response.
Direct response, if they're trespassing, that doesn't mean the police are going to be there to tell them that they're trespassing.
We had a food that said we'll take
So, do we have a sergeant of arms yet?
We're going to do the proposal.
Well, also for consistency, in case people aren't on private property again, it's good not to bank on that as our method of working with people.
All right.
And
I had him and... No. Did you still want to say something? I don't know.
I was just going to say that we got to make sure not to discriminate, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yes?
Is Mellow Mushroom going to be aware of all of our rules regarding this and all of our organizational practices?
No. I mean, if they want to recognize it, they have to
assuming that they trust in us.
Yeah.
I'd say direct response. I'm sure Jen talked to them about what we're about. Further than that, no.
All right, we're at time. 5 more minutes? Or 2 more minutes?
What are we discussing? I don't understand.
Yeah, it has to do with security board.
So do we have any proposals that we need consensus on?
Yeah, we have the no drugs and alcohol, and with the no drugs and alcohol in camp.
Take it to a vote.
Consensus? Right. Which time? We're already at time.
No, but what time? 9:13. All right, you got to be out of here at 10.
Yeah, right. The mediator's legal observer proposal?
Yeah, I mean, we just said legal observer has to be separate from the action.
I'm not specifically certain.
Well, we were saying make the legal observers, that was the proposal, right? Legal observers and mediators speak together. I'm saying no, legal observers have to be outside the...
Well, I'll retract it then. Do we want mediators?
Yeah.
Mediators in general? General consensus? That was your proposal.
Yeah, so we want mediators?
Alright. Mediators, yes. Okay. I guess this apply to everybody. Not everybody voted just there.
I think that needs to be discussed maybe on a smaller scale and presented to the group in a more concrete fashion, because we don't we just have a word right now, mediators. Okay. What does that mean? What do they do? Okay. Who are they? So this is that's not established yet.
Legal observers. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just have a proposal that if you're not camping, probably for expediency and efficiency, probably shouldn't participate in this conversation right now, because it's not really just slowing things down. And I think this is something that you think maybe should be decided by the campers as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so should I skip the legal observer part and the sergeant of arms, and that should be discussed at the General Assembly in camp?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. Next thing of business would be talking to the media and press. We're actually going to let him speak, because we're going to bump him up.
Brother,
Where were you last night?
It really doesn't matter what I say or where I was. I'll tell you why. I've been trying to work on all the issues you guys are talking about. This morning I had the privilege to be on a radio show. I'm listening to all your guys' input again. I'm a good thinker and a good listener. Whoever doubted me on this permit is to protect these people, one way or the other. Okay? Don't undermine the situation what you're going to experience in the future. Okay? It offends me when you do that, especially to a native. Always want to doubt us. Okay, don't, oh, come on. Take these into consideration. The reality is you want to do something, but you haven't even found what you want to do. We've been doing it since you arrived here in my country. And if that's offensive, and a lot of you walk away from it, it's the truth. You don't want to hear the truth.
Draw the lines, man. You draw lines.
No, there's no drawing the line. Listen.
No, you can't. No response. Yeah, let him speak.
Take a chance and listen to what we're saying. Okay? There's a lot of innocent people in this crowd. Law enforcement don't give a damn if they bust your head open regardless what the situation is. And when they use a baton, they ain't going to be using, man, it's simple with just a little tap in your head. I got, man, scars in my head from getting it so many times that it's unbelievable. Not regardless of what the scenario is. What I'm saying is a lot of these guys that are here want to use the law to its best advantage. And that's what you want to implement. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here talking about all this. So rather than have an infiltration come in and try to neutralize why you guys are here, weed them out. And for permits, I'll give you an example. Get tired of this. This is what Ingalls has to offer for you guys when you want to save money. Okay? So if this was like an identification card, which all of you have through a state, okay? And you all have a Social Security card, right or wrong?
You're correct.
That's right. Well, this is resistance. This is our shit. That's real and legal. It's internationally recognized.
Explain what it is.
Unilaterally, man, it takes the attempt to get rid of this kind of shit. It creates your own. That's what protection does. Creating this permit to help you. Because these kids are a future that needs to see something positive that you guys accomplished.
Can you explain what you're holding up?
This is my identification. Okay?
From the nation?
From the nation.
Yes, real reality.
From the Cherokee Nation or North?
Nah, this is from the Lakota.
Okay.
I'm not a Cherokee.
Well, I don't know what you're holding. I'm sorry. I just can't see.
If you open your ears real carefully, you can hear what I'm saying.
I'm trying.
Time to take patience with yourself and listen to yourself then. That way you can listen to others. Every time when I listen to stuff like this, and I'm going to say this once and for all, man, you really want to undermine anything, you undermine the law. Because the law is what's stripping you guys' rights by using corporations to step on your head. That's why law enforcement is listening to you. And regardless of what goes on, they're going to continue to get away with what they want to do. They don't care about you, and they don't care about us natives either. That's why we fight at a different level. And the only way to do it is hold them accountable. That's what we've been doing. Successfully, man, we have been with success with all of it. Unfortunately, we had to play their game. Now, if I stood here and talked to all of you in my language, you wouldn't even have a clue. But this language I'm using is offensive because it makes you angry. You can't agree with anything. And most of all, it doesn't teach you the conviction of love. But my language does. Because it's free. This language isn't. So you imagine a people that's been struggling since they arrived here in 1492, continue to obtain and occupy their own territory. That's hard, but we're still doing it. So when we come out here to help you guys, and you have undermined issues by saying, oh, we don't need these permits and whatnot, it's a right way to protect yourself. Because obviously you can't do it. Because if you did, I wouldn't be telling you this shit. And last but not least, that permit's getting done. We'll bring it here tomorrow for you. Once you have that, you're free to do whatever. It's acceptable. My last comment to all of you guys. This gentleman brought this issue up. And then the group did too. If you're under the influence of narcotics or alcohol, you're not part of your 99%. It's bullshit. America has always used alcohol and drugs to neutralize anything, any cause in this country. They did it from our people. So get real with your words. That's real action. I'm saying that to you. My reservation, alcohol's an epidemic. Kids at the age capacity of 3 to 19 are under the influence. A lot of them are born that way. And that's sad. That's what America created. Well, let me ask you something. Where's the permit in stopping that? That's right. Shake your head. There ain't none in it. But it's okay to legalize it and sell that shit to everybody. Not only natives are drinking, so is the African people. And any other color man, even yours. That's offensive now. Because if you had Congress people understanding that, they'd be putting a padlock on corporations' door and stopping it. But all they believe in is money. That's the greed of all evil that these people be putting these signs on. So enough of all that. You really want to get serious, that's what you do. You take your steps. This gentleman talked about, Kwame Dore. I wish he used that name because Storky would love to hear his name and his African name. I knew him. I knew a lot more others. On the radio show, I talked about the people I was involved with. That's how we do it. And it's sad that you don't see no native in here but two. A Lakota and a younger Arapaho girl from the northern region where we're from. Because anything that has to do with resistance or any issue with rights, you implement that to native people, they'd be here. But you're all blocked in. Nobody's expanded. Don't tell me something I don't know. We expand it out and try to include people to come in and see what your people is doing to mine. And that's very offensive when you say that. But if I was to do this, Malakota Soshila. En fait, qu'il est l'élection est danger, il croit qu'il est été la chichu. So wagla qu'il est, les wagla qui est mitro. No ya te hena ka que on que hena l'élection est suta o spabna. Wa chichu qu'il est op to chachu. As to any le wona con he choose. Wala kota qu'il est au technique as ni han l'élection. What did I say?
You love us?
What did I say?
You want us to help you and love us?
What did I say? I didn't say any of that.
Translate for us, please.
What I said, it takes language to bring an attention. And it takes language to get people to really listen to what's missing. If this country has knocked off every red nation like they did out here in this eastern region, you have it. You have us whipped. My language was gifted to us to continue to remain here, just like our foreleg, in these trees, and the earth itself. That's real reality. That's love. Nobody says that the trees and weeds couldn't live here together, because they're still doing it. Nobody says that the ants and all these little bugs that are all here has to put up regulations and signs to bar them out of there. They're still luring all themselves in it. When they lure themselves to it, they're saying, hey, look at us, we're free. But how many understand that anymore? How many understand freedom? I don't hear you shouting about it. When you love freedom, man, you make a stink, you make a roar. That's what's going to happen to all these young kids. Society has predicted, what, 2013 to enforce martial law? Police states? Hello, man. It's here. Don't undermine the cause. Wake it up. So when you're under influence of alcohol and drugs, you're not part of the 99%. And with that, when I bring that permit here tomorrow, enjoy your freedom. Thank you.
Woo! Alright, we need somebody to take into what she's got.
The park is gonna close soon, and we have a lot of stuff.
We have a half hour, so yeah.
They have a car that they can maybe.
My car is right across the street, and I can pick up some of the food.
All right, we can just load it in while you're having the meeting.
All right. You want the keys to my car?
Hell yeah.
I have it's the yellow station wagon across the street. It already has the non-perishable stuff in there, so it's gonna have to organize stuff. All right, it's like almost 9:30, so I say in 15 minutes. I'm gonna make a proposal, and then in 15 minutes, the remaining things that we have on our General Assembly be moved to a General Assembly either at Metal Mushroom or tomorrow. I'd say probably tomorrow because it'd be a big group influence on all these issues. Well, what are the issues? Well, we just got, the next issue would have been talking to the media press. I feel like I'm going to bypass that, and the next one that needs to be is watching gear at camp with the people during the day, and that should be the main issue that we address tonight in the next 15 minutes. And the other ones are Facebook group situation, the Kickstarter, spiritual proposal, community outreach, setting up a PO box, code box, and talking to the media press. I feel the watching the gear at camp is a pertinent issue for tonight.
Well, if we're going to have a General Assembly at camp, wouldn't that be when we discuss that? Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where's camp?
Camp is Metal Mushroom.
Okay.
Metal Mushroom. 11 to 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Alright.
Alright, so, yeah, I guess that one we'll do at Metal Mushroom. Alright, talking to the media press. Any proposals? I have a proposal. I think all media and press relations should be directed, when it's considered a group, to the media group. That's their purpose as a working group to a degree. I mean, and we might have to make a smaller group within that group to do it, but they have all the information. That's the whole point of it. We're supposed to be giving them the information, they're posting it, and they should be talking to the press directly. Are there any other proposals for it?
Sure, fuck that. In New York, I don't think there is a media group that have designation to talk to reporters. I think they allow anyone to do so.
I don't know how to respond to that. I was just saying because certain things that I know that press has talked to, certain people have expressed their own opinion as opposed to the direct group that's influenced, and I think that's an issue that needs to be addressed to a degree. Because people's opinions necessarily don't represent the group.
How do you divide that?
Alright, direct. As long as it's really addressed.
We've all got our
I got
opinions.
one short one.
We're all part of this group. That's what it is. We're getting media coverage. Whoever's there is getting it.
Over here first.
I'm with the media group. My name's Scott. I talked to Sam Bunch at WNCW this morning. I also talked to Dave Moran this afternoon with WCQS. I got to talk to both people about 20 minutes each, and in the conversation I gave group concerns, group thoughts, group agendas, and I also gave my own opinions, but I cleared that up and I said, I'm not speaking for the group now, I'm speaking speaking for myself and telling you why I decided to join the group. It's not hard to make the point that it's different. As far as a lot of people calling, one thing that they're not going to like is if we got 5 different people calling saying that they represent the group. To us, that might seem all right, but to them, it's a little confusing. They do things the old school way, and they want to know that the person they're talking to has an official voice.
All right, direct response.
No one represents this group.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they do, but I
All right,
am
we move on.
feel that way.
My understanding of the media group, being a member of it, is that our role is to go out and seek media attention for the group, not to speak for the group. Everybody speaks for the group.
I would actually move that the vision or the mission, not the group itself, but when we draft something, that would be our group statement. And that would be how it would speak for it. Otherwise, it's individual. And I think the vision group's job is to create something that we can present to the media.
Yeah, so there's I guess there's at least one major concern that I just want to put out to the group, and that is we, I think it's inevitable that people will be interviewed and they're going to share their opinions about how they feel about things. I think that's great. I think the media working group, we can give some pointers about what makes an effective interview for the press, what will help our movement, so you can use your own feelings and your own words to make it even more effective. And I think as far as just interviews go, what the media working group's concern is, we've talked about it several times, is that no one person is hogging media, and that diverse voices within the 99% are covered, meaning that historically underheard voices are given first priority for speaking. So that's
Okay.
Just what Michael was saying, the Vision Group is working on the statement that will be what the group believes in, and therefore anyone who says personally
It got covered, I
it
think.
should be understood and made clear that that is an opinion and they're not speaking for the group. I don't think anyone really is at odds with this, but can we figure out, cause isn't that what we're trying to discuss? Isn't that the solution we're seeing? Can we have a consensus on this? Can we talk about any other proposals? The proposal is that what the statement that the Vision Group is working on and that we will all agree on will be what the group presents to the media as a group, and everything else will be personal opinion.
So we're going to have a consensus.
We had 2 more before.
I just want to put this across to you. Communication, unity, represents community. So as you talk, try to talk with unity so that everybody does have a voice. And go to the internet and look, see what the other groups are doing so that you see some of the consensus of where they are. So you do have that unity, because your voice is not just here in Asheville, it's across the country. Across the world.
I would just say that right now I think we're in a kind of a little dangerous spot because the media is confused and they're portraying the whole movement as, no demands and disorganized. So I would just encourage everyone to emphasize our unity and what we are doing, the 99%, and that it's coming, that our group consensus is coming.
yeah, I hear what you're saying, but our media coverage so far has been outstanding.
Yeah.
We have no complaints about our media coverage as far as the media working group goes.
All right, direct response.
That was
if we can just kind of stay on message that we are all speaking as a group and nobody is the leader, I think that's
exactly how I responded today.
direct responsibility. I wasn't saying that we're confused. I'm just saying that nationally, that's one way I think the national media is trying to minimize it. Yeah.
One more thing. They're looking for a 6 or 7 second sound bite they can flash up on the screen in the news. It's hard to explain a full page of demands or requirements, whatever, in a 7 second sound bite.
Do we want to have a proposal for this, or do we kind of keep it unended at the moment?
I propose that for now, unofficially we focus on corporate greed as a group until we have something better.
Yeah. Yeah. I have something in addition. Did you have something? I'm sorry, you.
No.
Okay. I have an addition to that we shouldn't address any local concerns until we have those demands and visions set up. Okay. Alright, cool. So I'm going to do a direct consensus on that. That what he said, that we keep our goals oriented with the whole corporate greed, which is actually full-on occupation standards, and that proposal. Consensus?
Saturday at 3 o'clock, there are council declaration. Are you incorporating that?
I would assume yes, if we are to consensus upon that, so I would say yes, that we...
I just wanted to make sure we didn't forget it.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's being used as the foundation for the statement that the Vision Group is working on right now. So that has been accepted, but it's not like the end. We're doing local demands too, and what we want, not just what has been established for the rest of the Occupy Together movement.
All right.
I have an appointment to talk with Pam Bunch at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I want to know if it's all right with the group that I speak for them. I don't know. Is that a yes or no?
All right, consensus on the overall group opinion about how we feel with basically the solidarity with New York City, with what's going on all of that. Like, as a group consensus.
Right,
Like, well,
Vibe check
On people staying in the park, I think it's time to end the meeting. That's what I'm saying.
It's 9:35.
Okay. 25 minutes.
I think we said we were going to wrap it up at 9:45. Is that
Right. Let's keep moving.
10 minutes.
So we have less than 10 right now.
Isn't the proposal just corporate greed, people speaking for
Yeah.
themselves?
yeah.
Do we have
All right.
consensus on that?
Consensus on that?
Any blocks?
All right.
Okay.
People kind of speaking for themselves if they're interviewed, but keeping the general idea of the corporate greed as the main group focus.
Can I have a friendly amendment? I think I've said it before, but when you do speak for yourselves, it's really effective when you sort of tell a story about how you've been affected by corporate greed. So maybe just think about that.
Go ahead.
Alright, so back to the group consensus so they can make sure that everybody feels about that.
Yeah.
Basically, the corporate greed is the group issue, and when you speak for yourself, you do so, and like, basically, I mean, I don't know how to say,
Stating that it's your opinion?
yeah, stating that's your opinion, but make it clear that it's your opinion, and not the group.
Yeah. I like that.
Alright.
You're saying it's helpful to use a personal story.
Yeah, do the personal story. Alright, but
A friendly amendment. I think it's also important if we talk about direct democracy and the General Assembly, because I think that's a really big part of this.
I'd say I agree with all this. There's going to be no way to enforce this even if we adopt it.
We don't have any enforcement for anything yet.
alright, next one would be the Facebook group situation. I noticed that on Facebook, basically, there was a gentleman who, I don't even know if he's been to any of the General Assemblies, but he made a hateful speech on the Facebook page, and it caused a bunch of drama on the Facebook page, like the group page. Like, there was like 90-something comments, and it went back to bickering back and forth. I had a proposal for this, that when somebody makes something that is negative towards the group and what we've decided and consensus upon already, that the person doesn't necessarily be blocked from the group, but what they say, and this will be brought up, whatever they say will be brought up in the General Assembly, that comment be deleted from the Facebook group. I mean, it's hard to say because it's freedom of speech and you can say whatever you want, but it caused a lot of drama on the Facebook page to the point where like people that I know personally that haven't come to any of the General Assemblies have made comments to me about it.
If I could just make like a friendly amendment, or wife, I'm not sure. And we're not specifically talking about just like banter back and forth, just directly negative comments for no reason. Yeah, that maybe is more what you mean.
All right.
A friendly amendment for that is we add something, perhaps the media group or whoever handles the page adds a list of community guidelines for how we handle our group discussions. And I would like to, my idea is that we do not respond to things because Facebook is a public space. You post anything on somebody's wall, anybody can see it depending on privacy settings.
All right, I'm back on stack, so wait for me to call you. You
Yeah.
and then him.
Okay. I just want to say that on the Facebook page, I mean, I don't want to feel like we should block people right off the block or just delete comments.
Yeah, delete comments.
I mean, no. I'm saying maybe we should, if somebody, is offending us, warn, say, hey, please stop. And if they don't want to quit and they're being a troll, then that's what the kind what I knew that was. But I mean, 1 or 2 comments is what I'm more about. I mean, people do get upset. I understand. I mean, I know what you mean. But I'm saying that's the kind of thing you'd want to block. Yes, of course. But before it got to 90 comments.
Right, it's him and then you.
This is a direct public forum that people are going to look at your decision-making processes, our decision-making processes, and our messaging. We allow people to hijack that forum, are not participating, and have no positive role to play. If it's not a discussion about tactics or events that are pertinent to group discussion, I think people should be banned. I don't think it's a First Amendment issue. They've got the rest of Facebook to use.
You still have something to say?
What is the Facebook name?
Occupy Wall Street, Asheville.
Alright. Did you? Okay. Did you still? No, he's good. You and then you. And then
No, I already went.
Oh, you. I thought that was
Naomi. I go by female pronouns, by the way. So I manage the Chunte Pizza, which is a Strongheart Warrior Society Facebook page. And we're constantly attacked either through COINTELPRO or just people dysfunctionally. And so we had to make a decision at one point to actually shut down commenting on our page to stop that kind of stuff. Right now, we shut it down for about a month, and now we have open commenting, but anything that is negative or derogatory is deleted immediately because it's intended to disrupt the efficiency of what we're doing. And so I just want to share that as an example of how we're handling that sort of thing.
Him and then you.
By the way, my name is Michael, and I'd like to return to my proposal that we have a statement of some sort that has guidelines and states that if you do not follow the guidelines and be friendly and nonviolent in your communication, that you are removed. And so there's a warning rather than just arbitrarily doing things. And I think that should be the media group's job as they handle the Facebook.
Oh.
You and then you and then you.
Sorry.
Can we not just vote on that proposal right now?
Probably time to go.
Can we not just vote on that proposal right now? And then move on? Or we just get that?
Alright, so you want to vote on that possibly tomorrow at a General Assembly when we have more time and people can kind of think about it more?
You don't want to vote
like
on
a friendly
it right
amendment,
now? Asking,
a friendly amendment to that.
Okay.
Would we want to move it to the General Assembly tomorrow, essentially, or do we want to vote on this now?
Do you want to get rid of, like you're just
I wasn't
time
trying.
for
I didn't want to delete him or anything. That's the thing. Like this is why I wanted to bring it to General Assembly because this is an issue. And I know personally that when they do the live stream stuff, they have a moderator that will delete the comment of what they said. They get a strike policy. They delete the comment. The person does it again. They ban them from the chat immediately.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that works great.
But so I'm saying, do we want to decide on that now, or are we waiting for? Is that what you're saying? Decide it now or tomorrow?
Yeah, I was gonna say the friendly amendment would be kind of tomorrow, or even at a future General Assembly, not necessarily even tomorrow.
So do you want to do a vibe
direct response first.
My direct response is that part of this process is also concerns and blocks, and we do not have time to cover those two parts because there's proposal friendly amendments, concerns, and then blocks, and then if there's no blocks, then it's passed. And so we don't have time to cover that entire process right now.
For the second time, we're leaving out stand aside. Stand aside for people who have concerns, maybe enough to block, but do not block and stand aside. It's an important voice inside the movement, so it's only a point of interest. So we might ask for stand aside as well as block.
I totally lost count, but I know you had your hand up.
No, just fine.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry.
going crazy.
Maybe. My issue got addressed.
Huh?
Is it my turn?
It's your
Yes.
turn. Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to say, this issue doesn't seem to have an immediate need to be resolved, and it's 9:45.
Yeah.
So can we move to either the next thing or adjourn this meeting?
Alright, okay. I'm gonna have a proposal that we adjourn this meeting and deal with the other issues till tomorrow.
Alright,
Except for the watching gear, which will be at the General Assembly at the campground.
great.
Any
Deal.
concerns?
Any concerns? Any blocks?
No.
Everybody's cool? Awesome. Okay, we got the main issues covered today. Thank you, everybody.
And just a reminder, if anybody's new, we have ticketing here.